Hello, I'm Mark Dolan, and this is the Internet. And I'm in the company of a top comedian, it's Jacob Hawley, and we're here at the Amused, which is an iconic chain of comedy clubs. And Jacob, you have been through the iconic, a lot of iconics going on, I accept that, but you've been through the new act competition, which the Amused run every year, and that was a good experience, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You did well, and you got through like quarter-final, and you were in the semi-finals and everything.
Yeah.
So that sometimes people are critical of the competitions because they think it's, well, some comics feel it's a bit above them. Other comics think that they're not ready yet. How was it for you, that experience?
I think it's important in getting people's attention on it.
Yeah.
And I think in reality, for most comics, you get a sort of window where you're a bit hot. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Not to say that I am or ever have been, but certainly more so than I was as a result of competitions.
It's what the American electoral strategists call the Big Mo.
Yeah, right. Yeah. That window of when people are going to listen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so I think competitions were certainly what opened that. Because before that, I was just doing open mic gigs.
Yeah.
You know, I had a few little feet on the legs of ladders of the circuit, but yeah. So that's. Yeah.
You had little feet on
little legs.
Your feet got bigger now.
Yeah.
I've
grown.
You like a dwarf or something? What happened?
I can thank it was Jago and Amused.
For your full size feet.
My feet.
So I think that the competitions are good. I think what they do is that you'll take somebody that's talented and they've got some good gags and a good persona, but they're like, they're not quite the finished article, and they've got all that potential. And the competition is a process, a stressful, demanding process that normally makes them more professional, that it just straightens them out a little bit.
Yeah.
You've really got to think, right, what is my best 5 minutes?
Absolutely. And I think that's good practice for what then becomes auditions for TV.
Yeah.
When you have a certain producer come along to watch you do a set somewhere, and you've got to really bang out a 10-minute set. I mean, like I remember pacing up and down in that little corridor in the hotel where we are now.
Yeah.
Running through word for word what I was going to do in terms of the 10-minute set I was going to do here.
That's it.
Where I was going to take my breath within the sentence.
It's amazing.
When I was going to move from one bit of stage to the other. And I think, especially when you're doing open mic gigs and stuff like that, you don't really program yourself to think about that level of precision.
Yeah.
And I think, like I say, a couple of years on, or a year and a bit on now, that's useful for trying out for TV stuff, for getting radio and other sort of things like that. You have to show, if you want to do your broadcast stuff, you have to show you're capable of that level of precision.
Correct, you're right, absolutely, and sort of delivering under pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what a competition is. You've got an audience that's sat there, they've got a voting card, they're going to put a number next to your name. It doesn't get more brutal and Darwinistic than that, does it? But in some ways, comedians will never go through the pressure ever again that a competition puts you under.
No, absolutely. And do you know what? It's quite liberating when you get to a stage when you go, right, I've done that.
Yeah, correct.
I think maybe
I'm a comic now.
Yeah,
I've graduated.
Yeah, kind of. And I've sort of got a sort of generation of comics that I did all the competitions with.
Yeah.
And it's like we've all sort of grown up together. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we were all in that corridor together. Now we all myself and a few others debuted at Edinburgh last year together.
Yeah. Right.
Now we do other little bits together. So it's nice. You find your sort of year group from doing the competitions.
If you talk about that transition to being, a really confident, established act, what are the key differences, would you say, from the rookie Jacob to the pro Jacob? Is it the material? Is it the persona? Is it the delivery?
I think for me personally, it was finding material that I felt I was good at talking about, and material that separated me from other actors. Do you know what I mean?
Whereas when you started, was the material more of you just like grab what you could?
Yeah, absolutely.
Grab
what you can, and where
that joke got a laugh, I'll keep it
in. Yeah, exactly. I've got a funny thing to say about this topic. Whether that topic relates to me at all as a comic doesn't matter. Keep it in. Whereas I think and it just comes with time. I think with time you realise what's interesting about your persona, and so that you can talk about that.
So you write for your persona, you write for your true essence. So
Kind of, yeah.
I always think the very best material will be material that only works when you do it.
Absolutely.
If someone else did it, it would play for silence.
Yeah, and then there's bits now. So I'm writing another Edinburgh show now for this summer, and there's bits now that I'm trying out, and then they'll go okay.
Yeah.
But then I'll look at them and go, it's kind of, on paper that's a good. Why is it? And then you go, well, because he could do that, or she could do that. There's nothing personal about that to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So, but then, so I think it
Really
is trying to be as authentic as possible, personal as possible.
Yeah.
And doing stuff that you care about as well, doing material that you care about, kind of naturally makes it more authentic.
I think so. I think you learn that from comics like John Bishop, where I think if it's authentic and it's truthful, it doesn't need to be quite as gaggy or gag laden.
No.
Than if it isn't true, you know. And I think your story, which is hysterically funny about being on the bus and there's somebody taking crack cocaine
Right,
on the bus.
yeah.
It's so funny, and I don't imagine it exactly happened, but it's probably rooted in...
I was pretty bang on, But I think with those, especially if you're doing anecdotal comedy, I think what's funny isn't necessarily the anecdote. What's funny is, as an audience, if you can picture the person on stage reacting to the anecdote. You know, and it's your face reacting to what happened there, and your internalised angst based on what's going on around you. That's funny. It's not necessarily the
what actually happened.
What happened? No, it's the way you reacted to it.
Yeah, exactly. And we can all imagine being on that night bus.
Yeah.
Inhaling that man's crack cocaine. Well, it's all happening for you now because you are going to Edinburgh with a solo show again.
Yeah.
In August.
Second
show, which is brilliant. You got a working title for it yet?
Yeah.
Go on then. Do you want to?
Falaraki.
Yeah. And because?
So a lot of it's based on when I fell in love for the first time when I was working in the Greek resort of Falaraki.
I love it. I love it. Great backdrop.
Yeah. And so a lot of it's based on that.
Kind of ultimate holiday romance.
Supposedly.
Ends in heartache.
Absolutely. And some bad tattoos.
Well, you do have, you've got a really, I love your tattoo on your leg, and it says 1664.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you if it's a tattoo or if it's written in biro, but it is a tattoo.
But it was done by a friend with a...
Are we still using the word friend?
Yeah, just about. I've done worse on him.
Were you conscious when it happened?
Not conscious enough.
No. So was that? I'm imagining that maybe drink had been taken and other substances perhaps.
Yeah, we had a few drinks, and then we do it a lot. I've got loads of these awful tattoos where we drink enough where we think that a good idea would be to use needles and blades to do our own tattoos using ink. So yeah, I've got loads of awful ones all over my hands and legs.
I love them. I think because they're actually very minimal.
Yeah,
You've got a little stripe on one of your fingers there. You've got an arrow point. Is that that a sailor's thing?
It's nearly an arrow. I mean, it's minimal for you and I. It's not minimal enough for a lot of casting directors.
It's like a child's arrow with slight learning difficulties, I would say. But you know, good luck to him. And 1664, is that because you like a beer or what?
It's Kronenbourg.
Kronenbourg. It's your favourite beer.
Fortunately, but I didn't. I woke up in the morning. I didn't remember it happening. I didn't remember why it was that number. And so I thought, is that some pin code? It could be anything. And it was only when I looked around the room and saw the empty beer cans I realised.
Empty beer cans, always a clue.
Yeah.
It's a shame it wasn't a pin code because I always think if I had tattoos, I would probably be having something sort of practical, like a library card number, or my self-assessment number is a very long one. So maybe VAT, something like that.
Something like that. That'd be handy.
But these are fun. These are fun stories. And but do you still have? Are we ongoing with the tattoos, or have you?
Yeah. Well, I don't. Not so much. I think when you're younger, I think you're quite excited.
You're not going for one on the face?
No.
Little teardrops or something.
Like I said, I've already got enough.
You could get a whole Edinburgh show out of having the word "hate" written on your forehead. That would win awards, my friend.
But then you wouldn't get much casting directors' interest afterwards. That's it. You have to think. Long term.
Ever the professional.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they're bothered about the tattoos on your hands.
I think a couple of times I have been.
Really?
You do the auditions, don't you? And they make you stand, face the camera, say your name and your agent, face it that way for your profiles, then you have to go like that. And the amount of times I've gone like that and I've just seen the casting director go like that.
Wow.
And so it's
I think that's prejudice. I think that's unfair. But then again, I think you might one day get a gig off the back of it.
You never know. Yeah, you never know. One day might be a character where that.
You could be in like the sitcom as sort of like the edgy neighbour.
Yeah.
The crack smoking, bus travelling neighbour. He's just semi-conscious, allows people to write things on his body forever.
Yeah, I mean, more recently it's been adverts. I'm auditioning,
Oh, that's good.
cat food adverts, that sort of thing.
Good, yeah.
You've got to pay the bills, haven't you?
Listen, anything that allows you to keep being a comedian is worth it.
Absolutely.
Seriously, all bets are off. So where were you born?
Stevenage.
Good. And where do you live now? Are you Stevenage still?
No, I'm Finchley.
You got out of the hood. Finchley.
Yeah.
Which are the Finchleys? Because to anybody that's familiar with North London, that's a very unsatisfactory answer.
No, right, you're
Because
right.
it could be East Finchley, it could be Finchley Central, it could be North Finchley.
I'm Finchley Central. I wanted to be as close to the big Tesco as possible.
Very well. Cat food advert.
Yeah.
You're welcome. I do enjoy Finchley Central. As you say, there's what I would call a fuck off Tesco in there. It's very big.
Yeah.
For considering it's a kind of villagey area, it's got a big dominated by Tesco.
That's what they call it.
Cafes.
This isn't a Tesco Metro. This is a fuck off Tesco.
That's the real bit. It's not a Tesco Extra. I wouldn't say that you could buy like a fleece in there. It's not that good.
No, there's no pyjama section or anything like that. But you got a decent. You got a deli. You got a hot deli counter, pastries.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get your washing tablets in there as well.
You get the full cooked rotisserie chicken.
I think you do. I don't eat meat, but I think you do. I try and avoid it. No, that's all right.
That was ignorance.
I've only stopped eating meat in the last few months. I remember a time when those rotisserie chickens were a Saturday night for me.
Of course.
But yeah, so since I've only moved to Finchley in the last about 2 months ago.
Get used to the big time, big guy.
Yeah.
Enjoy. It was lovely to have you tonight. You performed during the semi-final of the competition that you've been through, but you came back as the pro while the votes are being counted. It's actually quite a tough gig, isn't it? Because they've been watching comedy all evening and they've been sat there, judge and jury, putting numbers next to them, and then you've got to come on and go, no, I actually get paid for this.
Well, yeah, pressure, I didn't open with that, but
no.
But they also.
I told them that before you came on.
But also, you're quite aware that half the audience, 70% of the audience, are there to support another comic.
I know.
In which case, you're the last.
You're an afterthought, aren't you?
You're an afterthought, but on the one hand, you also get a little bit of goodwill because I think in some cases they've been sat there wanting everyone else to do badly apart from their friend, and so you're kind of not a threat. But yeah, it can be a tougher because I've done this a couple of times. I've been lucky enough to do this a couple of times. It can be quite tough.
Well, I know that the senior management of Amused only get the very best people that they can really trust, because it can be a bit of a tough gig. And I've seen some people get sucked into almost feeling like they're one of the acts in the competition.
Yeah.
But that's never going to happen on your watch. So listen, what's going to happen on your watch is unexpected tattoos. That's your Achilles heel.
And hopefully not at a gig.
I hope you don't mind, but I've fired up some needles for us tonight.
As long as it's for tattoos and nothing else.
I've ordered some mojitos and I just want you to relax. It's all going to be good.
Lose a couple of kids.
You're right. Love on one hand, hate on the other. But listen, you're a brilliant comic and a brilliant person as well. So Jacob Hawley, stay marvellous. Keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you,
and good luck. And before I let you go, this is obviously a little bit chaotic, but Radio 4.
Yeah, I've got a stand-up special on Radio 4 in May.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Where's it being recorded?
We're recording it at the Top Secret Comedy Club.
Perfect.
In Covent Garden.
And how long will you have? What duration?
So the recording is an hour, but the what's going to be broadcast will be half an hour.
Great. And it will be your best sort of hour, really.
It's based on my last Edinburgh show. Yeah. It's slightly Brexit related, but I don't want to say that too much because I think people have had enough of that now. So
I know.
I don't want to put anyone off.
If it's funny, they haven't had enough, and your stuff is hilarious. Also, briefly, I love podcasts like everyone. BBC podcasts, BBC Sounds.
Yeah.
My new favourite app.
Yeah.
So you are making something for them as well.
Yeah, I'm starting a series coming out in June called Jacob Hawley on Drugs, and it's it's sort of a mix of comedy and documentary. So talking to a lot of people involved in drug culture, from dealers to scientists to addicts to everyone. Yeah, there's a bit of stand up in there.
That's amazing. So we're a bit of a laugh about it, but also maybe a dispassionate analysis of it. So because we're very reactionary about drugs, aren't we? In society, it's like bad, 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 evil, 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 and it's that sort of very polarized view which doesn't really help.
No, and I think what's been interesting with this is we've spoken to a real broad range of people, and there's things that I thought I believed in that are being challenged as well. I've always been pro legalisation.
Yeah.
We were lucky enough to get a guy on who's advised 3 different presidencies in America on their drug policy, and he's anti-legalisation. He's got really interesting opinions. It's changed my mind immediately on that. So yeah, we've got some pretty big name comics coming on as well.
Right.
I can't say just yet, but yeah.
No.
Buzzing about it. So yeah.
Well, he's being. I'm going to be on it, and they're giving me cocaine, so we'll see what happens. Let's not forget, I can't handle Ribena, so it's going to be interesting. I want to say you're a legend. Good luck with all of those things: radio, live, cat adverts, cat food, I should say. But you're racing. We'll see you really soon.
Thank you, man. Cheers, man.
Jacob Hawley, literally here next to me. See you soon.